Hello my loves and welcome back, and if you're new here then welcome. So today we're going to do a short little practice for our lats. Now if you're the kind of person that when you raise your arms overhead that your arms don't straighten or they end up being more out here rather than biceps all the way up towards your ears, then you might be experiencing some tightness in your lats. And I like to think of this more as the side of your rib cage here. And as we think about these side ribs, the one thing that people will tell you to do is to grab one of these torture devices and then lay yourself down over it and start rolling like this. Now, not only is that quite uncomfortable, it's not very yoga and it's not very relaxing. These have a place, but let's be a little gentler to our bodies. So before we begin, let's first of all do a little test, and then afterwards we can do a retest. So take your arms out and up and release. Just do it a couple of times. Let's get the shoulders a little mobile here. And as you do it a couple of times, then the next time the arms lift, leave the arms overhead. And I want you to reach up as much as you can. Get some upward rotation of those scapula and reach. How close are the biceps towards your ears? Are your palms forward? Are they turned in? Are your arms in front? Just notice. Are you popping the rib cage forward here? And can you draw the lower ribs back into neutral here? Is one arm different to the other? What do you notice? Where are your arms in relationship to your head, to your torso, to the floor? And release. All right, let's come down. So for this practice, what I'm going to suggest is instead of that little torture device, that you find yourself a blanket. Could be a towel, and you're going to have it nice and quartered here, but then just take a little roll. Just take a little roll so you end up with maybe like a 2 or 3 inch little sausage here. And as you find that, just place it across your mat. You're gonna come to lie on this blanket, but you're gonna have it so that the blanket is across your back body, right up towards your armpit area here. So your arms are over the top, almost like you were gonna scrub your back with the blanket or the towel. And then from here, just notice how much of the thoracic extension that you have in your spine here. Is it already a little bit uncomfortable? And that might tell you that you have some issues with thoracic extension here. Let your feet be around hip distance or even a little bit wider apart here. And the key here is that you're just going to do one side at a time. So let your right arm reach back. Now as your right arm reach back, your left arm might just rest down to the left side. It can be out wherever it feels more comfortable. But we're going to roll our body towards this right side. So when you're ready, just let yourself roll towards the right, and you're rolling over your blanket here. And then just come back. Do that a few times, just roll over your blanket, and at any time you can reposition yourself. You can bring yourself into an area that perhaps has more or less tension depending on how you want to release. Maybe you're looking for a little gentler practice today. And as you do this, the interesting thing about this little action is that it does 2 things. Yes, we're rolling onto our lats, but you're also rolling onto your IT band of this right side. So notice if you have an awareness of the floor, massaging your IT band. And then just ask yourself if this is a little bit more comfortable and accessible than using a roller. I'm not against rollers. They do have their place in a practice, but perhaps sometimes we need to be a little bit gentler with our bodies. And maybe this time you pause over to this right side. The left arm can just find a position that's comfortable. Maybe it's in front, maybe it's just draped across your body. And as you rest here, then just take a little couple of inch movement back and forth. So now you're really kind of rolling into the lat area here. Thinking about that space on the side of your shoulder, the side of your rib cage, just below your armpit here. And if you're not feeling any tension, then you have the option to just roll back, move yourself a little up, a little down, and then try again. And just roll back and forth. And again, if you find an area that you do have some tension, then just pause and take that little rock back and forth. And just allowing yourself a much more accessible way to roll and release through your lats. And a bonus, IT band, than using a foam roller. And then roll all the way back. Let your knees come to center. And then let your right arm release. And it's interesting here to notice, just for a few breaths, how do you feel right to left? My right side now feels a little bit lengthened, so just notice if that's something that you notice in your body. And then we'll do the other side. The left arm then will lengthen back. Right arm just resting out to the side, down by the side, across the body, whatever works for you. Feet again, hip distance or wider, and then just roll over to your left. And again, you're kind of looking, almost fishing for an area here where you have some tension. And the interesting thing to note is one side, the whole side, more tense than another? I know for me, my left side is more tender than my right today. Every day is different. Noticing your IT band on this side. Is that feeling different? Is there more feedback on one side compared to the other? And as you come to your left side, then pause, and then just take that little couple of inch movement back and forth, rolling across that blanket. And again, you can reposition yourself at any time, any point. Just allow yourself to come into a position where you feel you need. And then roll all the way back onto your back. Let the knees raise up, feet connect to the floor, and let yourself rediscover that position with the arms maybe lengthened out or back. And just take a couple of breaths just to settle in. And then draw your knees up, roll to one side, and then just push yourself up and away from the floor. And come into a comfortable seated position. And just take the opportunity here to notice the range of motion that you may have now compared to previously. All it takes is a quick 5 minutes to release those lats. It's great for poses where you want the arms overhead. Maybe you're doing some extended side angle, extended triangle, even just upward salute, Urdhva Hastasana. I hope that you found this useful and it helped you in your body and your practice. And until next time, my loves, remember that karma is only a bitch if you are. So be nice, be kind, and be the change that you want to see in the world.